Hello everyone, my name is Rosita. I am a vocal and language coach, meaning not only do I teach people how to speak in different languages, I also teach people how to sing in them as well. Now, the subjunctive can be extremely confusing, especially when you guys are first introduced to the subjunctive. It is introduced as, oh, it's all about uncertainty. It is all about doubt and emotions. It's very moody. You guys see what I did there? But in actuality, that's only one aspect of one clause. So what we're going to do over the next set of videos is to really break down the subjunctive to have a better understanding of it and learn when to use the subjunctive. So let's get started. So when you guys first learn Spanish, right, we're just so focused on learning about the present tense, the past tense, the future, the conditional, the perfects, the progressive tenses, right? We forget that we're actually studying in a particular mood. In Spanish, we have three moods. We have the indicative mood, the subjunctive mood, and the imperative mood. So whenever we study the indicative mood tenses, el indicativo, in Spanish, we learn that the speaker is talking about facts, is talking about actions or events that are going to either happen, has happened, or will happen. These are expressions that one perceives to be true. Now, when one is using the subjunctive, el subjuntivo, we will see that the attitude of the speaker is going to determine the mood that will convey the message. So let's look at a couple of examples. So these examples are ones that I use from the textbook in my Spanish grammar classes. So here we have, Mario confirmed his reservation. Mario confirmó su reservación. Mario will receive his ticket by email. Mario recibirá su billete por correo electrónico. Both confirmó, which is conjugated in the preterite, and recibirá, which is conjugated in the future, are actions in the indicative mood. Now, these actions are actual events that had happened in the past or will happen in the future. So the description of Mario's activities directly expresses that reality. If the perspective of the subject conveys doubt or uncertainty, then the subjunctive mood is necessary. So for an example, Mario doubts that the travel agent will confirm his reservation. Mario duda que el agente de viajes confirme su reservación. Now, please note that there are two parts of this sentence, or two clauses, cláusulas, in this example. The first clause, the first part of the sentence, Mario duda, is in the indicative mood. And it is reflecting Mario's feelings of doubt, of uncertainty about a future action of a different subject, the travel agent. Now, in the second clause, the second part of the sentence, here we'll see the verb confirmar, conjugated in the subjunctive. Because this action may or may not be completed. Mario is uncertain about the outcome of the action that is being performed by the travel agent. Now, these two clauses are linked by the conjunction que. Now, you're going to see this conjunction over and over and over again when it comes to the subjunctive. The subject of the second or the dependent clause, el agente de viajes, differs from the subject expressing the doubt, which is Mario. Now, the clause in the indicative mood is going to be known as the main clause or the independent clause. These are the same thing. These terms are going to be interchangeable. So the first part of the sentence, the independent clause, which is a sentence that can stand on its own, will always be in the indicative mood. Now, the second part of the sentence, the clause containing the verb in the subjunctive mood, is going to be known as the dependent clause. Now, grammatically speaking, these dependent clauses are going to be known as noun clauses because they have a function similar to that of a noun in a simple sentence. Now, when introduced to the subjunctive, you are going to be learning these verbs that express emotions. Verbs like esperar que, querer que, desear que, preferir que, etc. And these types of verbs that express emotions are going to be part of the first part of the sentence in the main clause. And then it's going to be followed by que, the conjunction que, to introduce the different subject. Let's take a closer look at the conjunction que. Que is always going to link the two clauses together in Spanish. Also, whenever we see que, it can tell you that the subjunctive may be used, but it's not always going to be used because it depends what the sentence is trying to express. Meaning that whenever you see que, the dependent clause may not always be in the subjunctive mood, but it can also be the indicative mood. The perspective of the verb in the main clause is going to determine whether or not we're going to use the subjunctive or not. Let's look at a couple of examples. The notice says that the session ends in the afternoon. El aviso dice que la sesión termina por la tarde. The investigator doubts the interrogation will end before 6. El investigador duda que el interrogatorio termina antes de las 6. In the first example, the verb decir, which is conjugated as dice, does not convey an attitude of uncertainty or doubt or emotion in the main clause. So therefore, we are not going to use the subjunctive in the dependent clause. In the dependent clause, you're going to see the verb terminar, which is conjugated in the present tense of the indicative mood. Now, in the second sentence, however, in the main clause, the subject is expressing emotion. It's communicating doubt, the verb dudar. So therefore, it's going to require the subjunctive. So that's why you'll see the verb terminar in the dependent clause conjugated in the present subjunctive. We use the subjunctive more in Spanish in comparison to English. So I believe that is one of the variables in why this whole concept can be difficult. And determining when to use the subjunctive is going to take some practice, some patience, a lot of mistakes and experience. But hopefully with these set of videos, it's going to help you. Now, there are 6 subjunctive tenses that we are going to learn in your Spanish learning journey. Now, only 4 of them are commonly or frequently used, okay? So for the next 4 videos, we are going to be learning about the present subjunctive, the present perfect subjunctive, the imperfect subjunctive, and the pluperfect subjunctive. All right, so that's going to conclude the video for today. If you guys felt like you were confused or you need to review a couple of things, please feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you guys need. And also, if you want to ask me some questions, I highly recommend to check out my Spanish grammar classes here on Take Lessons Live. Here is a QR code so you guys can register for the next class. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video, or better yet, next class. Take care, everyone. Nos vemos. Ciao.